guys, welcome to another episode of the Parfect Journey, where we started in League 1 with Dunfermline. We're now in the Premier League, and we are trying, as you can see, to survive. Now, the form's been a little bit better since the last time you joined us, where it looked like, we're going to head maybe towards definite relegation. We've had a couple of results in our favour. We've had some decent results in the Cup, which may surprise you because we also drew that initial game with Queen of the South. But things have looked up. We've also done well to bring in a few other players. The squad is massive. There's a lot of players we've kind of got that have a view of being sold on, or will probably do this in the future. I think this summer we'll have a massive exodus of players just to balance the squad, because I'm going to show you here. It does look absolutely massive. I think it's frustrating because if we had the reserve squad, it would be perfect. That perfect balance between first team, reserve, and under 20s. We'll literally go first team and under 20s. I feel a couple of the guys at 20, 21, 22, we could maybe use with a bit more experience. Not at the club, maybe out on loan. Maybe playing some reserve football. It's maybe not really suited to them. So we'll go through the arrivals, which seems to be happening every month. As I say, Abdul Osman came in the last time. I think that's a pretty standard signing. SPL experience. Probably one of the better midfielders in real life in the SPL at the moment. Stats maybe don't reflect in FM, but I think he's someone that can come in, do a job. Hasn't really featured so far, but he's more of a backup with a view to playing next season. In terms of players that are better for the future, Ottar Magnus Carlson was recommended by an agent. A lot of caps under 21 level for Iceland. You can see there finishing, heading, first touch. There's a base of a good player there, but I still feel it's he needs experience, he needs to get on loan. But even those mental and physical stats, if you can get most of them into 11s, 12s, which you definitely can within the space of a year, 2 years, then he could become a solid SPL player. Someone we could look to punt on. I think the scout report had him quite high. Yep, 3.5 star, potentially 4.5 stars, so definitely could be someone who could do us a turn in the future. And turning to an old friend, former Motherwell loanee Liam Grimshaw was available. Again, I think he can do the job, but still hasn't got his position right since he's not a defender in real life. He's more of a midfielder in my opinion. But he can cover a couple of positions. He's going to get stuck in. I just feel he's someone who can do a turn, despite not really playing much in this save so far. But again, his contract is really just for a 2-year deal, so if we do go down, he's someone who will be a key part of the team that brings us back up. Apart from that, PB is on loan to Ayr, and Amine Inali is out on loan at Queen of the South, so they're going to get some valuable experience there, and hopefully can do us a turn going forward, or we'll look to sell them on. So looking at our schedule, you obviously joined us for Queen of the South the last time. As I say, the form is up a little bit since then, compared to obviously the dire month of December, which was absolutely shambolic. So Falkirk was massive, obviously it was 11th against 12th, but Bruno Wilson, his first goal for the club, and Tom Lawrence scoring gives a good 2-0 victory there, which was really good, really necessary. I think it was a victory that kind of helped us gain a bit of confidence. We then went into this replay against Queen of the South. Campello gave us the opening goal. We tried to hold on, but Andy Murdoch with a goal back in the 81st minute. Went to extra time, Paulo Grillo with a goal. That gave us a victory. Unfortunately, so many of our players were sitting at 40-50% fitness, and that definitely affected us against Rangers, who I thought we'd done okay against, but it was just a case of tiredness was just too much for the boys. Jonathan Vieira with an early penalty. Dembele with the equaliser for us before Vieira, and then a Tom Walsh goal gave Rangers the 3-1 victory. Home against Hearts, again another fixture coming up very quickly, and unfortunately it was a Christian Herrera goal for the visitors that gave them the win. Again, I felt we're still a little bit tired, but thankfully a good little break between that and Partick Thistle in the Scottish Cup 5th round, and Sean McDonald's early goal gave us a victory and progression at the quarterfinals, where we'll play against Aberdeen at the start of March. So a big one here against Hamilton, tricky fixtures against St Johnstone, and then a really difficult one against Celtic coming up. But it's up to us to make sure, with the way the table's standing at the moment, that we can catch Ross County, If we can catch Ross County, who's to say we can't catch St Johnstone? And it's just making sure if we do have to be in the playoff, that we're in a good position to win the playoff. I've won it before with Motherwell in the network game, so I've got experience of being that team that wins, playing against the team for the championship, just making sure we don't finish bottom. As far as the championship goes at the moment, it's very close between Dundee United and Inverness, with St Mirren and Motherwell and possibly Kilmarnock could be future teams in the playoffs. But let's not think about that, let's not be too negative, there is still a long way to go in the season. 12 games in fact, so a lot of points to play for, but if we can just try and get a couple of wins on board, try and claw some other teams back into this dogfight, and try and get ourselves away from Falkirk, then that would be ideal. So the team's already been picked for today's game. As you can see here, we're probably better doing it from the tactics board. Scott Fox is going to play in goals. Waka, Bruno Wilson, Johnny Byrne and Davide Campello make up your back four. With the two wing backs bombing forward, the pressure is on Dembele to then sit. You get Lewis Mullins going to be just spraying passes. McDonald will be box to box. Tom Lawrence will come off the left hand side, and Grealish from the right, playing into Pendau, our top goal scorer with 10 up front. Substitutes: Mark McCallum, Hochstar Hermanison, Duncan Watmore, Elish Chabi, Senna Mango, Pau de la Fuente, and Suleiman Koulibaly. So many players missing out, so many players lacking match fitness. The problem is, anytime there's like an under-20s game, there's a first team game, and I'm like, I might need them for that. I think a lot of these guys will be guys that are looking to go, either released or out in loan the next season. In the case of Grimshaw, it's just when we can fit them in. But massive game against Hamilton here. We're not going to look at the preview because we'll get a better idea of the team here. Because us and our luck that they could end up changing it a lot from that. So we'll see what it says here. I'm hoping it gives us a chance to be favourites since we're at home. But in all honesty, no, we're favourites, that's good, that's ideal. Confirming even money, Hamilton 11-5. We can put the gap to them to 7 points. I think if they win this, I think they're pretty much safe. I don't see us getting to 37 or 40 points, so I think they'll be fine. We're going to line up 4-4-2, a very deep midfield there. Scott Robinson, Greg Docherty, Blair Alston in there. That Kumbemba who scored the last time against us. Mark McNulty, who's a good striker as well. They've stuck to the defence of Hurricanes. Jesus Garcia Tena, Mikey Devlin, and Grant Gillespie. Goalkeeper is Scott Brown, the former Aberdeen keeper. Yep, so he's been their goalkeeper for the majority of the year. A couple of folk we can bring in, Paul Quinn, Liam Caddis, so a lot of good qualities there. We'll stick with Paul Williams and his player instructions. We may look to revamp the coaching staff as well in the summer. It's very hard for me to plan ahead of what I would like to do, because if we're not in the division, despite us still having 9k left in the wage bill, with the financial situation at the club always being like 500k in debt usually, I feel like we'll probably need to cut costs as well. So it's hard to plan ahead. Like, obviously there's a lot of things I would like to do. Ross County leading against Hibs is not good for us at the moment. Thankfully, Aaron Taylor Sinclair with the equalising goal instantly makes that 1-1. So it's really just a case of just trying to get as many results as possible. The last 5 games, especially because it's going to be against the bottom 6, are going to be massive. And if we get good results there, then hopefully we'll be in a good predicament. But it's one of the most boring first halves there. Apparently there were 17 shots and not one of them was worth a highlight. So keep it as it is, since we are still getting at least a point, which would take us a point closer to Ross County and a point further clear of Falkirk. I don't want to overcommit too much, because anytime I play over attacking or just anything more than standard, we tend to concede. The fact there hasn't been one highlight in this game means changes are going to have to happen. Watmore, although it says he can't play on the left, will be playing on the left. Pendau's going to come off for Koulibaly, so just putting a bit of pace and energy up front. Maybe should have more options to that left hand side, but I usually tend to feel if a player can play in one wing, he can play in the other. I think FM's just lying to you when it says this guy's just an attacking mid right. If you can play right mid, 9 times out of 10, unless you're Antonio Valencia, you can play on the other side. This is going to be one of the first ever games I think I've ever played the FM and there hasn't been one highlight. And I guarantee the only highlight we're going to get here is the last 2 minutes before they blow for full time. So we went attacking, going passionate. I'm going to try and bring in Paula Fuente, just to try and actually make something happen. Actually, the midfield's played really well. Millen 7.2, a good rating there for Sean McDonald as well, even Dembele. And frustratingly, yep, the only highlight is going to be this game finishing off. Nope, they scored with the last kick of the game. Unbelievable. If that isn't a sign of a club at the bottom of the table, I will never know. So Taveri plays it in, and there's absolutely nobody near Wood there. And it's a simple finish for the striker. And unless we can make something happen here in the last 30 seconds, it's a point lost. And at this stage of the season, every point is massive. So I think they're just going to intercept this. This will be the final highlight to the referee blowing the full-time whistle. And just overall, it's games like this that are going to see us end up down in this relegation scrap. And it maybe makes me think, should my recruitment strategy have been a little bit better? So disappointing there. Only real pass marks, I say, went to Lewis Milne, Sean McDonald and Modipo Dembele, but overall, utter garbage. So nothing changes. Falkirk have a game in hand to get the gap closer. St Johnstone have a chance to extend it, but you would like to think at this moment in time, for the bottom two places, it's going to be a fight between ourselves, Falkirk, Ross County, and St Johnstone. I think it's actually St Johnstone and Falkirk who play each other. Double check. Nope, Falkirk plays Celtic, so you'd like to think with them there and St Johnstone going against Hearts, everything should pretty much remain as it is. Good to see that Looney went out and had a good game. Good for him. So, it's a couple of difficult fixtures coming up, as I say, we've just to avoid automatic relegation, so we're actually fine where we are, but you want to be higher than where we are. So hopefully we can get a couple of wins on the board. St Johnstone then Celtic. St Johnstone's going to be another massive game. Celtic I'd pretty much write off. Partick at home, Hibs at home, Aberdeen away, Dundee at home. Got to make use of the fact that they 3 of the last 4 games before the split are at home, and then hope for a very kind schedule after the league splits in 2. So cheers for watching, guys. Apologies, it's a pretty drab fucking game, but it's one of those things with FM. It's just typical. Hopefully going forward, we only get a couple of good results. We can grind out this season and make a proper push for top 6 football next year. Just don't know what division we're going to be in for to do that. But say thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy the series, please let us know. Any comments are deeply appreciated. You can drop the little thumbs up, that's deeply appreciated as well. If you're managing the SPL yourself, how's your save going? What club are you managing? Have you conquered Celtic and Rangers yet? And here's a question for you. Is there one thing in this FM you haven't done that you really wish you should have done? I can admit that I still haven't won the Champions League in this year's FM, which for somebody like me is mind-blowing. But it is what it is, and it's one of the aims I'm going to try and get done before the FM 16 cycle is over. But thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.